What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Time to get locked and loaded. Time to get locked and loaded. Lock in. What's going on, family? What's going on? Turns out we back at it again. We back at it again. What's going on? What's going on? I'm taking my time because I'm thinking. Because I don't. Because these shows are unscripted, I like to take a moment and think just a little bit. Because I have no idea which road we're gonna drive down sometimes. You open the door and you have no idea where it's gonna take you. Spence, what's going on, bro? Sal, what up? I see my guys in here early today. Point five, what up? I already know Kojak in the building. He usually one of the first through the dough. Nightish, what's the word, bro? What's the word, bro? Mr. Cole, yeah, we gonna keep rocking, fam. We gonna keep rocking. That's what we do. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Uh, I'm thinking about taking a break when I'm dead. It's heavy on my mind. I don't know. Somebody said, am I the gargoyle guy? Who the hell is the gargoyle guy? Is that what people calling me now? Gargoyle? Somebody said, am I the gargoyle guy? I might be. Truth, I did see what you put. I appreciate it. But I'm not doing no interviews, brother. I'm being very I'm staying away from interviews because I don't like the focus really being on me. Contrary contrary to how it may seem, I like to be chill and blend in with everybody else, bro. I don't really like the attention like that. So in any way, I already promised somebody else my first ever interview if I ever do it. So if I ever do it, I've already promised somebody else. So you'd have to get the second interview. And depending on how the first one go, I might never get to a second. Let's just be honest. Chris J, what up? What up? Yeah, it's gonna be one of them shows. Listen, people, welcome, welcome, welcome. This here is the temple. Y'all know we in the temple today. So the reason I created the temple, y'all know why, is to prevent myself from getting canceled, right? That was the whole goal of going to the temple, right? I learned from Cheeky. Cheeky said, bro, just get you a show where you would just have unfiltered thoughts, which you probably should filter, but just unfiltered thoughts and just connect with the people. So that is the goal. That is the goal. Hopefully, no one is upset by the conversations that I have because these are my inner thoughts, the things that go through my head. Nobody else should be punished for these things, and nobody else besides us, people that rock with me, the people that dislike me, the people that be in the chat, all of the good and the bad. Nobody besides the people here today should be too worried about our conversation. This between us. And you're not subscribed to my channel, I don't even know why you would even worry about what we're doing over here. I don't even know if you're worried about the conversations that we're having. I wouldn't be. There are people in a whole bunch of other space. I don't talk about them because most of the time I'm not subscribed to their channel. Can we just be honest? Can I just be honest? I wanted to simplify the show today and just really, really have a real conversation today. So that is the goal. I simplified the conversation. That's what I'm really good at, is simplifying things. That's one of my hidden talents, to take all of the information in and say, okay, simplify that and then deliver it to the people. That's what I do, right? And so we're not going to touch on too many things today. I want to touch on two things and one thing in particular. That is the conversation that I want to have with you guys today. Because just listening to the conversation, look, the best thing about being a listener is, one, you really, really start to understand women more when you listen to them. Not that you should do what they say, because I'm not telling you to do that, but listen to people, understand people, and be a people watcher. Not no stalker, be a people watcher. Watch their behaviors, their mannerisms. Watch how they act when you're not noticeably visible to them. They think you're not paying attention. All of these things are important. All of these things are important. Y'all know me. I watch from the clouds with some of the people that I rock with in these spaces. They don't have big followings. They kind of small channel like me. And I like to be just a quiet supporter so that when people start talking about, hey, my last show, I said this, they don't even know that I was supporting. I was right. Because I like to just sit back. It's hard pushing these conversations consistently and making them entertaining, but at the same time, just kind of stir up the conversation. It's a difficult task. That's why you see a lot of people just burn out and they just disappear for a month, disappear for 2 weeks, right? Now, because of the, I would say the extensive time that I put into this, disappearing doesn't really work for me. So let's just leave it at that, right? Now, how are my people today? How's everybody doing? Is everybody in good spirits? Now, I know that naturally we're going to say everything is all right, right? Naturally, we just going to say everything is a-okay. That's who we are, right? I will say it. If people say, Aaron, how you doing? No matter what I'm going through, no matter the struggles that may exist, I just don't think that they real struggles. I just don't think they real struggles. So many people have so many different obstacles, and I'm not comparing myself to anybody in particular. I'm just saying the experience of life. It's not important for me to get off guard with things that are not pertinent, right? My guy Kojak said he tired. I feel you, bro. But guess what Kojak gonna keep doing? Working. Keep on working, bro. Push through. Drink some water. If you want to know the recipe to putting out show after show after show after show, drink some water. And if you run out of water, cancel the show. Y'all know my rules. If I run out of water, I cancel the show. That's my rules. That is just the rules. What's today? Tuesday. It feels like a freaking Monday because I love Mondays. My spirits are super high. Let me just tell you guys. Sometimes the work you do for people, you just never know just how deep of an impact that it has, right? One of my customers, not just my customers, but a client, uh, an older lady. Let me just tell you, uh she drives me crazy. Let's just say that. Like she's very much drives people crazy because she's a very uh particular lady. She's an older lady. And she's not very much prompt, I will say. She's very sporadic in her timing and always causes issues. But every time we deal with this person, me in particular, um, I just treat her well. And she knows that she drives people crazy. You know how you had that old lady in the neighborhood? She got a, she owned her houses, paid off all that good stuff. She's doing all right, but she just madly bothering people in the neighborhood, always looking out the blinds and everything. It's that type of personality. Uh, and I've been listen, she's been a client for years. And because I've moved around, I've been in multiple locations. Is that sometimes I'll leave, I'll come back, and you'll see similar clients depending on the area that you're in. Some of them follow you. Most of the time, they follow you. But you know what happened today? She said she's moving back to where she was born. It's a small city in California, and I can't remember. I don't even when she told me the name, I'd never heard of it before. By the way, I never heard of it before. Uh, but she said she was thinking about moving. That's what she said because she's very particular older lady. Um, and she's very particular with her finances because when you get up in older age, you have to protect your nest egg. You have to do smart decisions. So she's very particular. It drives me crazy because I'm all about efficiency, right? And so she told me, she said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about moving away." I'm thinking about leaving the Bay. I said, what? You gonna leave the Bay Area? In my head, I was thinking, you heard about them reparations, right? 5 million on the line. But then I said, don't say that, because then she might stay and drive you crazy for the next few years. So I didn't say nothing, because I was also thinking AL was trying to steal some of my 5 million. So I might recoup it. If she let me keep her 5 million, I get $10 million. I was thinking about all that in the moment, right? So I didn't say nothing. I let it go. And I was like, really? You thinking about leaving? Oh, man, no, you don't need to leave. Deep down inside, I was like, it'd be less work for me. But, if you leave, you leave, That's what I'm thinking. But I didn't say that because I'm a kind person. I take care of my people, right? And when she said she's thinking about it, in my mind, I'm like, okay. Now, little did I not know is that she really meant, when she said she was thinking about it, she really meant that she definitely going to do it. And so I spent an unfortunate amount of time often with this lady because of how particular she is and how I cannot make the appointment go quicker. I cannot. I tried everything. Okay. And so you kill someone with kindness. You treat some of these older women know they drive people crazy, right? It's who they are. And so after we was done, Aaron, do you work at Popeyes or Bojangles? I guess I'm Bojangles. Bill Stacy. I guess I'm Bojangles. I don't know. But after I pushed through, I grinded through the process. We got done with the, she broke down and started crying. She said, "I'm really gonna miss you." And tears just started. Mind, this lady is a older lady. She's in, retirement age, and she knows she's madly drives people crazy, and just tears just start gushing down her face. And in that moment, I went, dang, I feel kind of bad now, right? Because one, I'm not sure how to take these levels of emotions when you're dealing with women, right? Because naturally, you want to console them, you're like, it's okay. And she's like, and so I gave her, some tissues and all that. And then she just, she's like, she couldn't even get the words out. She's like, I'm really gonna miss you, gonna miss you guys. And she just was tearing up, and then she walked away. And I've never seen that lady in such an emotional position, because when she comes in, she's always cranky. When every time her appointment is cranky, she's a little cranky. And so I say that to say you never know the impact that you're having on people. You never know the impact that you're having on people. You just never know. And it's crazy because as much as she drives me crazy, and some of my other people's crazy as well, there's value in people that appreciate the work that you do. Let's just be honest. If you work hard, you go out of your way to do things for people that nobody else is willing to do. Sometimes you think people don't recognize it, or you think people don't respect it, or think people care about it and honor it, but you find out in people's moments of vulnerability just truly how much you really matter to people, and just on lower levels and higher levels. And it's crazy because as much as she drives me crazy, and let me be clear, she drove me crazy. I'm hopeful that whoever continues to assist her with the type of support she needs in the future can hopefully deliver the same type of experience that the people uh, that she's used to dealing with do. Because I think people know that they don't get certain experiences in a lot of other places. That's how you build relationships and rapports. And so I just want to leave you guys with that, because you just never know how you're impacting people. You never know. And you wouldn't tell, because these people be cranky and all these things. Like, I got people in the chat, right? They troll me so much, right? They troll so much. But in my mind, I'm thinking, you have to come here because you must enjoy the conversation. You must enjoy the experience that we have here. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to troll me like this. And if I disappear, it may bother you. Now, I understand there are better content creators. There are better people in these space that create better conversations, but you show up for some reason. And when I disappear, because listen, I'm going to disappear like that old lady is. Trust me. I'm not going to give y'all a 2-week notice or nothing like that. I'm just going to do a show. I might even pre record it because I'm smart enough to know that if I do it live, you guys going to talk me out of it. So I'm not going to fall for it. And I'm just going to disappear. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm just going to disappear. Not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to allow you guys to change my mind. I'm just going to disappear. I'm going to be gone because that's how I deal with things. Because it's awkward. You know, you got people being emotional and people expressing themselves. Keisha, there you go, Keisha. Look, you lying, Keisha. I ain't gonna even let you try to trick me. I ain't gonna let you try to trick me. I know I'm your favorite, Keisha. I know I am. But I just want you guys to make sure that you continue to do the difficult things in the most difficult moments because you never know just how important you are to people. You never know. Honestly, I could tell you other stories like that, but that's a really recent one. I'm not gonna fake my no, I'm not gonna fake my death. First cause. No, I'm not gonna do that. But I would just disappear. I would just disappear. That is my personality. Honestly, I would just disappear. Let's just be honest. Um, but let us get into the show now. I want to start off with this part of the conversation. You gonna do a Brittany B? Yeah. I would do a Brittany B. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I would do it better than her though. I would do it better than her. Uh, but yeah, I would. But I mean, obviously, I gotta I would have to let Anton know. I had to let some of the content creators that I'm really cool with know. But at the same time, man, I rock with y'all, but I gotta get up out of there. Cause listen, I see how y'all be making people pop up out of nowhere and make them where you at? Why you ain't streaming? What's going on? No, y'all not gonna get me. I'm changing my email address. I'm converting my channel. I might have to sell my channel. I don't know. Can you sell channels? I think you can. I don't know how to do that, but I had to do something like that. Uh, you know, I got to figure out my getaway plan. I got to figure out my getaway plan. Don't Kojak, you already know, bro. I definitely got to come on now. You locked in, bro. But you know what's interesting, right? I was re- I was randomly looking. Uh, I don't even know how I came across this article. I do not know, but it really, really hit with me, and I said, "Wow!" I said, "Honor thy mothers, honor thy mothers." And the reason why I say that is this: in this space, my guy Peter said, "Lease don't sell." That's a smart idea. I'm a holler at Peter the investor before I do anything crazy. But in this space, a lot of the times we have MS Best. No, bro, ain't nobody put no they ain't putting no weapons to my head or nothing like that and force anything out. Nah. Honestly, I'm not somebody that can be intimidated. I'm gonna just be honest with you. As crazy as it sounds, you would just have to get rid of me. I'll be ready to go. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't have like thoughts of jumping off, but I'll be ready. I know what's gonna happen. So, for example, right? I have a I have a decent relationship with death. And what that means is I expect it. I expect that if I read something about somebody's life and it says, oh, their grandmother died a year ago, their grandfather died a year later, their nephew drowned in a pool, they had a miscarriage, all these things, right? I go, I ain't no different than them. That can definitely happen to my life. As a matter of fact, I start to expect that stuff should happen in my life. No, ain't no wellness check needed for me, fam. I'm good. My mind is strong, very strong. And listen, if I did have an issue, if I did have a level of depression, I would get treatment for it. If I felt that I needed it, and I know I wouldn't run away from it. I'm not one of those people that says, "Oh no, I don't need it." If I thought I was in those stages, I'm in tune with who I am and I know myself very well, right? I'm not too proud to pay for a therapist. I'm not. I'm not too proud to say, "Hey, maybe I don't know this and maybe I need help." I'm not too proud for it. So, if there was something wrong with me, trust me, I would be working on it. But my mind is sharp. My mind is sharp. I'm mentally strong. Mentally strong. But I do know that my life is no different than nobody else's. That stuff definitely can come to me. Like I can just start. Family members can just start falling out of the clouds. I know that could happen to my life. So I have a decent comfort with knowing that death is going to come amongst me. And also, when death does happen, it's going to storm. I'm not going to just lose one person. I'm going to lose three or four people. And it's going to be a matter of months, a short amount of years. Uh, I'm just be honest with you. What up, fatty? I'm just being honest with you. I just expect this type of stuff to occur. I can't say that I'm 100% prepared for it because I'm not, but I mentally know that I am highly likely to experience it. The longer you live, the one thing that you're guaranteed to experience is death. The one thing you're guaranteed to experience the longer that you live is death. So I myself tend to have a good relationship with it. I know that's hard for a lot of people because there are people you guys love deeply. And if they were gone, it probably would destroy a lot of you. Um, I don't want to say these things out loud, even though we in my thoughts right now. But I don't expect to live and not lose people that are probably really close. And it sucks to say that, but I know it's to be true. Most of the time, I just think like, hey, man, maybe not let me be the one to get out the way first, so I don't have to necessarily go through it. But I think for me, the only thing that could really, really mess me up is if I lose my child, right? If I lost a child, I think that would be one thing that would really mess me up. But it wouldn't throw me off the edge like it would throw so many other people, right? It would mess me up to a level that I probably never felt. Uh, but outside of that, I have an acceptance that death will come. It's unfortunate if somebody's life is taken from you because that's the hardest thing to deal with, right? When somebody is taken from you as opposed to them dying naturally, that is extremely difficult. And a lot of us grew up in those type of atmospheres. A lot of us grew up in those type of atmospheres. So you think you can handle it, and I accept it. I know I'm not going to be able to avoid it in life, but I think the one that would probably mess me up is my child, right? I'm just being honest with you. That's probably the one thing that would mess me up, but it would never stop me. It would never stop me. But like I said, we're all human. But these are my thoughts, right? So let me get into it. So honor thy mothers. Really had me thinking because I've done shows before when I just see how crazy women are when they say, I'm your mother. Be thankful. I gave birth to you. And I'm like, what does this mean? Right? We've talked about this, right? We've talked about this. And no woman has actually ever been able to tell me, no woman has actually been able to tell me what does I gave birth to you mean? I've tried to guess. Oh, it means I need to be grateful, right? It means I owe you, right? Well, what do we owe you? I've talked to the men and I've asked, what do we owe you? And they don't tell us. And sometimes they get a little hyper about you owe me your life, right? But when I read this article, right, and we're going to go over it briefly with you guys, it got me thinking that man, maybe we do need to honor mothers even more than we already do. But the question is, what type of mother should we honor? What type of mother should we honor? That's the real question, right? And it got me thinking. It got me thinking like this, or like I try to read because I consume information differently than most of these nerds in the chat, right? These nerds in the chat, uh, they read and consume information differently than I do, right? But I consume information a different way, right? But I'm in tune with how I do. And I said, well, honor thy mother, honor thy mother. What does that mean? And this is what I thought. Oh, Chris J, you might not be happy with me after this show, but we're gonna find out. Because after we get past this first topic, then we're gonna get to the storm. All right. So I read this article and it talked about honoring mothers. And I had never really heard this before. And I said, what is going on? And then as I read it, I said, well, this actually has some validity to it. Actually, I can actually get on board with this. This actually makes sense. It actually makes sense, right? I think we've gotten so far gone in America. We've gotten so far gone in the States, in the Western, like we got so far gone that at this point, women don't even want to be mothers. We got perfectly attractive women in the chat every day that don't have no children. 31-year-olds, 32-year-olds, 29-year-olds, no children around, right? None. No children. And so it made me think, I said, wow, we got all these women, but no children. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about all these women and no children? Oh, I'm going to introduce you guys to the article. And you guys tell me what you think about it, right? Now, this article was written actually it's actually been written during it's been written during wartime, right? And it comes from actually Russia, right? And I did not know about this, but it says Russia is offering a hero's medal and $16,000 to women who have 10 children or more. 10 children or more. And I said, damn, 10 children. Actually, when you think about it, you might have to give a woman a medal if they have 10 children at this point. We've gotten to a point where we might have to pay women to have children. We've gotten to a point to where we might have to pay women to have children. And the reason why this article is prevalent right now is because Russia is they're literally inflamed within a war, right? And within this war, they are losing human beings, and primarily they're losing men, right? Because men overwhelmingly go into war. And because there has been casualties, you have a depleting population. And as much as we talk about women, as much as they might drive us crazy, as much as they might make us happy, all of the things that come with it, the one things that we do need them for is to produce life, carry life, bring life to existence for us, to be the vessel, we need it. And we know that, by the way. That's why men won't never stop dealing with y'all, because they got that little weed whacker that they just got to get that little on. But $16,000 for 10 children, at least 10 children, and you get a medal. And you get a medal. Let's be clear, you get a medal, right? So let's scroll through this real quick, okay? It's called the Mother Heroine. The medal ranks alongside awards for bravery and services to the state, right? So think about it. That's some of the highest honors you can get for service to the state and for bravery. So you have to acknowledge women on that level, they have taken quite a burden. They have taken quite a role in order to do things beyond themselves, right? Because most women at this point, especially where we're at in the US of A's, are beyond selfish, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong. Leslie, we'll get to it, darling. We'll get to it. I'm not saying it's selfish, but what I am saying is that that's what women have done. That's why we're saying the average age of a first time mother for younger people is pushing to be 30 years old. That's scary. It's getting real scary, right? But it puts in hindsight how valuable producing and bringing forth life truly is. But because we're in the Americas where we don't notice that we're losing life and we have to replenish our population because we look around and we don't see no war. We look around and we don't see no bodies in the streets. We don't see no mothers saying my son's not coming home and this, that. We don't see it. But when you see what's going on between those two countries, 5,000 people lost in a matter of weeks, maybe 2 months or two. You're talking about 5,000, 10,000 soldiers going a piece from each side. And if it goes on for 6 months to a year, you're talking potentially 50 to hundreds of thousands, maybe 2 years, 3 years. You're talking hundreds of thousands of casualties. That's a lot of life. A lot of life that before this happened, people were living their life, enjoying life. And now we have people that have met their demise. And now, as crazy as it sounds, as much as we honor and respect those people that serve us in our military, because let me be clear, anybody that serves us and protects this country, no matter how you feel about the government, that's your choice, are to be highly revered for their service, highly. Because a lot of them don't come home. A lot of them don't come home. But we don't see that. We don't know because we're not losing people. So we're in a state where we've developed society so much to the point where we're like, man, I don't need to have a child. We already have too many children. I should adopt. I don't even want to personally have a child. You have women saying, I don't even want to have a child because it will mess up my body. And if you ain't going to pay for my surgery, I'm not going to do it. If you're not going to pay for my surgery, you're not going to pay to get my body done, I'm not going to do it. They honor their body more than they honor their children, more than they value their children, more do they value their importance to society and their service to society. Because in America, you could say, man, forget everybody else. It's my life. But when these type of events happen, it ain't no longer about you. This is why nationalism is so important. This is why every sports game that goes on and all the championship games, you see that flag flying over and those jets flying over those Jeep, all those pushing America, because they need to instill nationalism in us. Because without that pride in our country, it's definitely your service to society, whether you want to do it or not. It's your service. It's your service. And it's also going to be to your demise if you choose to avoid it. But you'll find that out. Ask Vivica Fox how life going without that child. She'll lie to you. Oh, I got nieces and nephews, and I done made millions of dollars, and but without those children, there's a gaping hole in her heart. So if you think all that success that you think derives for you, try being so successful for nothing. Because when that day comes, when it's time to put that on your what we call that your what do we call that? When we got your tombstone, what is it called? The head plate, one of those damn plate. When you write on that plate, it says loving mother. Well, yours ain't gonna have that. You ain't got no children. It'll just say loved by people. You have to think deeper than just now. You got to start thinking deeper. No matter how much money you make, I assure you. And listen to Rihanna. Look at Rihanna. When the last time she put an album out? She is like, man, I done that music. I done made this money. I want my child. Now, listen, I'm not advising you to have children. Do what you want with your life. But I assure you, go spend time with women who decided not to have them, and you'll see a different outlook. So it is definitely your duty and service to society for you to produce children. I'm not telling you how many. I'm not telling you that you have to. But if you want to serve society, that is one of the most important things you can do is to continue to push society, whether you like it or not. Uh, okay. You know you're my girl, so we do it. Aaron, there are women who just genuinely don't want children. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, there are men who genuinely don't want to work and genuinely don't want to produce nothing in society. Do you find something wrong with that? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably in your best interest to make your point and say, no, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with uh men that don't want to work and that don't want to produce nothing in society. I'm sure you would say that, right? But let me tell you something about human beings. Just because they don't do something doesn't mean it stays there. They're a living, breathing, every action tends to have a reaction. So if you don't tend to have children, if you don't tend to do something, it affects other areas of your life. And remember, society is bigger than you. Now, I understand women have gave up on this. Cheeky have talked about it before, of what your contribution to society actually is. And if you don't want to do it, I'm not shaming you. Do whatever you want. But I'm just acknowledging that if you think that you genuinely don't want to have, listen, there are 12-year-olds that genuinely believe that they ain't supposed to be born in this body and they want to join a new body. And guess what? With human beings, they are very fickle because experiences and time alters you. Most people that are 20 years old are not the same at 40. Most people that are 20 years old are not the same at 40. So the way you thought back then is not the way you're going to think then. So it's important for you to project well. It's important for you to try to be prudent with your life because time is of the essence. And I know it's very hard, particularly for women, to project in the future. But you don't have as much time as men do when it comes to creating children. Now, I know that if that bothers you, if you're frustrated because you have not found a man that you find work, because every single woman, this is just my opinion, and I'm going to say it emphatically, every single woman that has the very much the man that they desire, that their soul and heart's desire, there's not a woman that don't want to have their child. Not one. I never, ever, ever have come across, read none of these women. If that man that they stand across from, that they hold hands with, that they sleep in the, if that is the man of her dreams, that if that is the man that she truly desires, there's not a single woman that does not want his child. I understand you if you don't have the ability or if you have not gotten the man you truly desire. So you said, I don't want to have children. I respect that. I respect that. But most women, if they have that man, they have a child by him. Whether you like it or not, whether it makes you upset or not, because you don't have that man, and so therefore you don't understand that experience. If you have that man, you have his child. But I don't think y'all are actually getting those men. And so I understand if you don't want to have those children. I have actually a level of respect for women who say they gonna keep their legs closed, and if they can't get the man that they want to have children with, they just gonna sign out. That's cool. I'm not mad at that, but I'm still acknowledging there will be a gaping hole in you. And the reason why this pisses you off when I say it is because you know it's going to be a gaping hole in you. And when people say it out loud and when you have to believe it, it becomes a reality. See, when I say it out loud, it just frustrates you because you want me to be wrong so that you can continue to live the life that the way you live in it. So you can say, yeah, I'm comfortable, I'm happy. Well, if you're happy, you don't have to respond. If the way your life is going and you're so sure 15 years from now, you're going to have that same mindset, you're going to be very happy with your decision, you don't have to respond. Actually, Chanel, you just made my point. You literally just made my point when you say I don't want to have kids with just any man. I clearly said the man of your dreams, the man that you highly respect, the man that you highly value. Children fall out of those women. But that's my opinion. If you don't believe it, look around in the world. Look around in the world when you look into the eyes of a woman that you see she with a man, and you might not even think he's good enough for her, but her brain is so tied with him. Look around and see if she has children running around. When you listen, this is one of the things that I tell people to pay attention to. When you see a woman that's been in a relationship with a man for 10 plus years, 15 years, right? And she does not have his children, and then she leave him and no children was there, that's a telling situation. It's a telling situation. But if you don't believe me, just look in life, play it out, look at family members, look at friends, look at that world that you can identify, right? And look at those women that you know head over heels for these men. There are usually children that follow. Shout out to one Queen Lady. She says, for every person that dies, a child is born. Well, honestly, I hate to tell you, even if that is true in theory, because I don't know that to be true, that may be accurate across the world, but in particular countries, we can actually check the birth rate and the birth above replacement rate. And I can tell you now, it ain't looking good. So even if for every person that dies, a child is born, that's not enough. Because if a person dies at 18 years old and he was doing a job or she was doing a job, and then you have a child that is 0 years old, and I'm making that term up just to be funny, 0 years old, they have no contributions to society. They actually cannot replace the production of that 18-year-old with that child that's 0, or that child that's 1 month or 2 months, etc. They can't replace that production. That's why it's important to have more children to be able to counter that over time. So one child for one death ain't actually going to work. It's actually a really bad ratio. It's a really bad ratio. We absolutely need more children. And I know some of y'all think we're overpopulated, and I don't know. I'm not a mad scientist that wants to control population. I'm just telling you. That's an issue. If you think you can have one child, oh yeah, that Jenny Ma situation, that's one of the prime ones I use on women all the time, Miss Chelsea. All the time. If you play the video footage where she said, me and Rob, I don't know, remember his name, we just both agreed we didn't have children. I'm telling you. When that's how you know if that guy is that guy. Listen, let me give y'all a secret real quick, right? I'm gonna give y'all a secret. I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna cheat one time on the man code just for y'all, right? I'm gonna cheat just one time. See, the way you know if you have a real good relationship with somebody, like I'll use an example for me, right? Me and my homie, right? Let's just say we close, right? When I go to see him and I see him and his girl, how she greets me tells me everything I need to know about our relationship. See, because when a man is telling his girl that love him, that guy right there, that's my brother. He's the most loyal person I know. Naturally, that woman goes, oh, he on our team. I need to show him love. That's my brother now. But when you see her and she greets you with, oh, hi, the way he's talking about you when you're not around is a problem. See, the way you gauge somebody is you go to their woman and you look her in the eyes. You engage with her and see how she treats you. Because his relationship with you will be taught through the woman. Now, some of y'all understand that game. Some of y'all might not. But it's through the woman. If she not jumping up and down with you, oh my God, brother, I'm so glad you're here. Then that means when you're not around, he telling her something different. I don't really rock with him like that. He get on my nerves. This, that. I'm telling you, the woman will tell all on her man because women can't hide things. When you doing something wrong to a woman's man, she hates your guts. She can't stand you. And all y'all women know what I'm talking about. Anytime your man tell you like this, he owed me this or he did this, that, a woman can't stand his guts and she can't hide it. So this is why when I said I can't tell a woman everything, right? Because life is chess. So I know a woman around me, if she thinks somebody's done something to me, done me wrong in any way, she can't hide it because she want to destroy them. Because your woman sees you and it's you and her against the world. So anybody that caused an issue to you, she hate their guts. Ain't no woman around you that loves you gonna like somebody that's done you wrong. So you tell a story, yeah, I gave him like $500, but he ain't paid me back. He paid other dude back and this, that, and your girl hear that and she see him, it's all bad. So you gauge a relation. You can, this is just a tool, through your boys or through his woman. They cannot hide it. That is one of the things I've always used to know where I stand with somebody. Is we really that close? Because listen, we all human. I tell you, I put mechanisms in place to challenge my biases, right? And I'm telling you, it's never failed me. It has never failed me. And that's why I have to be careful what I tell the women that care about me in my life, because if I say something like, and I'm not as mad, and I tell them that such and such did something to me, they're not going to hide it. They're not going to hide it. They're going to be pissed off and they're going to let him know. And I'm playing chess. I might not want him to know where I'm at. I might not want to reveal my face, right? But my woman will reveal. So I have to be careful with that. Now, you guys can disagree. I don't mind, but I'm telling you, it's never failed me. And it works. It works. So when you look at these values in these women, I'm telling you, we might have to start paying for them, right? But check this out. There's actually a stipulation that comes with this, right? The stipulation includes raising all children with appropriate levels of care. You guys see that? That is one of the stipulations that comes with this medal, this honor, is that you must raise all children with an appropriate level of care. Wow. Do you really want that medal? And check this out. Look at this. And all being alive. Can you imagine that being a requirement that all of them have to be alive? And the reason why they're pushing this is because they're losing so many people at this war that they need soldiers in the future. They need them because what y'all don't understand, because we have what we call a volunteer army where we actually get to decide if we join. A lot of countries don't have that option. They need soldiers. They need to predict what's going to happen in the future. And so now, it actually says right there, if you guys can see it, I don't know if I can blow it up a little bit more, but it says, aside from those killed in military or civic service. So if your child dies serving the country or whatever the case like that, that's cool. Like we said, outside of that, your children has got to live. And they're basically saying here, Russia has faced an economic challenge from a declining and aging population, which has accelerated since its invasion in the Ukraine, right? And then they got a picture of a nice plum belly because some guy went to work. All right. So they announced they're receiving the Soviet-era honorary title for women 10 or more children as it confronts the population decline. Okay. The decree is signed by the president, Mr. Putin. Now, check this out, right? The title will be awarded. So you get a title for this. For those who birth and raise. Now, check that out. They're very specific in this language. You must birth and raise. Because I know a lot of y'all just think y'all can produce children and say here. Because listen, if we gave y'all a certain amount of money just to have a child, a lot of y'all would do it and give it away. Now, you have to birth and raise these children. Yeah, these burdens of society. I understand that. Yeah, I know y'all think they burdens. That's why I think most of y'all single mothers be the devil, right? Now, check this out. This is a lump sum of 1 million Russian rubles, right? So a lot of y'all was thinking $16,000, right? Y'all was thinking $16,000. That's not a lot of money, right? Y'all was thinking that, right? But check this out. It's actually somewhere around 1.2 million, right? When you convert to $16,600, it's a little bit over 1.2 million rubles. So you'd be a millionaire if you have 10 children in Russia during war times, right? So something to think about. Now, obviously, if we tried something like that in the States, we wouldn't have pay you 16,000 US dollars. That's ridiculous. That wouldn't work in the States. You understand what I'm saying? But it's something to really think about because we really are suffering with this population issue, right? Now, check this out. There's some additional qualifications. The children must be given the appropriate level of care for health, education, physical, spiritual, and moral development. Now, the reason why I'm telling y'all this, right? Think about this. The children must have been given the appropriate level of care for health, education, physical, spiritual, and moral development. Why is that important, right? Why is that important? I'm going to get to why it's important in just a second, right? Let's see here. They received a medal 5-point star. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right, cool. Let me see if there's anything else here I need to touch on. No. Okay, cool. That's good. Russia population fell from 80s. Wow. Okay, cool. So here's the bigger point that I want you guys to understand about this, right? The award goes to the woman. The award goes to the woman. Why? Because the women raised the children. There is no award for the father, Leslie. There is no award. There is no award for the father, Leslie, because the women raise the children. I know America got y'all thinking it's the other way around, but the women raise the children. If having kids is our service to society, why are single mothers talked about every week in these YouTube spaces? Please explain. What do you mean by single mothers talked about every week in these YouTube spaces? What about single mothers, or what do we say about single mothers? And what does single mothers have to do with your service to society? And to be fair, let me just tell you the truth. Y'all said YouTube ain't real. Y'all said in real life, let's just be honest. You said in real life, y'all don't have these problems. Men don't ask you what your body count is. You don't have a problem getting a man because you got a child. Only on YouTube. So it ain't real, Keisha. This is just YouTube talking points so a bunch of content creators can get rich over talk about single moms. How does that sound? Since YouTube ain't real and women ain't really having trouble finding fathers, somehow, some way, the birth rate's declining though. But I keep telling you this personally, right? I don't have an issue with single mothers. I have an issue with repeated single mothers, right? One child, see, even I have a rule. If you have one child by a loser, by a horrible person, etc., I let that slide. You are allowed one mistake in life when it comes to children. Women can make a mistake and correct it. Women can make a mistake and correct it. I'm good with that. A lot of times those single mothers, listen, if they learn a mistake, they become more valuable because they become more humble when they realize life can be a lot more difficult. They become more humble when they realize difficulties in life exist. So if you got one child, listen, I've talked about this before. I'm willing to let one child slide. But if you have two children, you're dead in the water. I will never give a woman a chance that has multiple children by some of the worst men that exist. You should have learned your lesson the first time. And I don't want to hear no made-up scenarios like, what if she learned her lesson with one guy, gave another guy a chance, and then had another baby that, no. Well, let me tell you the stuff, and shout out to Keisha. You know I rock with you. Let me tell you what I have to tell you. Then you lose. I know that y'all not used to hearing that you lose in life, but if you don't make the right decisions, right? If you don't get some wins under your belt, you lose in life. I don't know who keep telling you that you always have a chance to win in life as long as you keep trying. I'm gonna have to tell you the truth. Nah, you make too many mistakes, you done. And I know what they're gonna tell you in society. No, it ain't never over. You always got a chance. Tell that to the people that's 80 years old and doing bad and been doing bad for the last 60 years. Now, you thought when they was 71 years old, it was like, you still got a chance, you could fix it. 72 came around, you still got a chance, you can fix it. They want to keep telling y'all got opportunity. But I'm not gonna tell y'all that. You lose. You lose, you lose, you lose. Now, if you want to be a minority, meaning you find a man who will take your 2 or 3 children and he's a phenomenal guy and he's going to take good care of you. And oh my God, Aaron, oh, you were so wrong. I found some guy to take my 2 or 3 children and he treats me wonderfully. Salute. I will be glad to be wrong. I will be glad to be wrong. But I assure you this, there ain't a lot of women running around talking about that. It ain't a lot of women running around talking about that. That's not a, why are you saying that's a contradiction? At least single mothers are helping repopulate society. I agree with that. That's the value in it. However, Keisha, I didn't say that's the only value that you have to society. That is a primary one, is a very important one, but you got other things that you need to do in society. There are other things that you need to do. And I know you only think having children should be enough. Fine. But if you want other things outside of life to come with that, you got to do other things too. That ain't enough. So I'm not contradicting myself, okay? I'm telling you what my requirements are, and other men will gladly possibly take 3-4 children, 3-4 baby daddies, and he'd be the greatest guy alive, I guess. Take your if you think I'm wrong, take your chances. Go bust down a couple guys, have about 3-4 kids by 3-4 different baby daddies, whatever, and see how that worked for you. If you want to prove me wrong. But let me guess, you don't want to try that, huh? I bet I'm talking to women in the chat be like, I ain't even got no children because I'm scared that could happen to me. Because you know I'm not making it up. Because you know I'm not making it up. Most of y'all women know you bet not get caught running around with 3-4 baby daddies. You know your life is not going to be popping. I've just been honest. Y'all know that's not going to work for y'all. So don't be mad at me because I'm acknowledging that y'all understand it ain't a good idea. And the odds of you winning in life becomes very low. And let me be honest, most women want to win. Most of y'all don't believe that y'all going to lose. But when y'all ran into me on YouTube, I was like, who is this mean guy that keeps telling us that we're going to lose in life? I thought that's only for men. No, it ain't. It's actually for women too. Wins and losses come on both sides of the board, but we've only been talking about men for a long time. I'm here to even the board up. I'm here to even the board up just a little bit. Just to tell women the stuff that they normally don't hear because most guys trying to get in their pants, but I could care less about it. See, it's so much easier when you ain't have to sleep with these women to tell them the truth. See, most guys gonna lie to you because they want to sleep with you. That's not my problem. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Wins and losses, winners and losers. Women are losers too. But y'all only been told that men lose. So I'm here to tell you, have a bunch of children and see how that worked for you. Play these games, win stupid prizes, okay? Now, it just made me think maybe we should pay women to have children. That's all I was saying, right? That's all the point that I was making. Maybe we should pay women to start having children. I don't know how much that'll cost. I don't know the system that we have to put in place. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it might be something we have to look forward to. Because I don't know if y'all paying attention, but a lot of these countries are using this Donald Trump arrests and all this stuff right now to distract us from how a lot of these countries are getting together to move off the US dollar and to start to empower their nations to take over America right between our eyes. But we sitting here arguing about Donald Trump and whether or not he should be in. Honestly, it's a waste of time. It's a distraction from the things that's really happening. The real plays in life that's happening is when you guys get the most news and the most distractions. When all those companies was going under, all these I broke the game. All these mergers and acquisitions was happening in different industries. So y'all was focusing on the banking decline. Oh, look at all these banks. People was moving their money at lightning speed. People have been moving their money at lightning speed. Okay, I'm telling y'all, they've been moving their money. They've been freaking out. What's going to happen? You ain't even got $250,000 and you freaking out. Oh, what if the bank go under? I might not get my money. You got $10,000. You freaking out because you don't understand that game, but you do understand that the fear of money controls you. That's why when y'all see rappers burning money, y'all be like, "Oh, he's so dumb," but they don't really care about that stuff because money don't have that type of attachment with them because they just be peeing money. They go on a walk, do a little walkthrough, get paid 50 grand, and it's like, well, whatever. Y'all have to pay attention to the plays you cannot see. I know where he charged at, Spence. I know. It's not good either, because that's a bad place to be charged at. If it was in Florida, he might have a better chance, but it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. That's all it is. That's all. It's just a distraction to throw you guys off while they're making plays and y'all not paying attention. Now, if y'all think I'm wrong, only time will tell. But what y'all going to read about is a bunch of mergers and acquisitions, a bunch of companies buying other companies for pennies on the dollars in all industries. I've proven it already. Y'all see the banking industry. Y'all see the airline industry. I've kind of broken down telecommunications briefly. I'm telling y'all the automotive industry is coming up real soon. Y'all just watch it play out. Y'all don't understand when they say this is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth in American history, yada, yada. Y'all don't even know how wealth actually gets transferred. Y'all go on YouTube and go, how does wealth get transferred? And think, oh, yeah, we're going to tell you exactly how it works on YouTube. Man, listen, if y'all don't start seeking this information, y'all going to be always behind the 8 ball. Now, I'm just thinking about it for my own self because I am very harsh on mothers. So in my mind, I'm like, maybe if we pay them, maybe they feel more incentivized because women really see children as a burden at this point. That's why a lot of y'all in the chat, like, I don't have no children. Some of y'all like, I'm happy I don't even have no children. Y'all see them as a burden. But if we paid you $1 million, would you have a child? So who was that in the chat that said they don't have any children, they're happy about it? If I paid you $1 million right now to have a child, would you do it? Don't lie. Be honest with yourself. Or do you think that type of money would change the way you think and you would feel that child is less of a burden and you feel comfortable being able to take care of that child? I think a lot of you women would take the damn million and go, yeah, I do it. But right now, I don't want to do it by myself. I don't want to pick the wrong guy. Y'all all want to have children. Y'all just listen. Y'all not going to like this. So if you're a feminist, if you're a strong, independent woman, what I'm about to say is going to hurt your feelings, but it is the biggest truth you will ever hear. If you are standing across from the man that you feel comfortable and safe with, babies will fall out of you. Babies will just fall out of you because a man has the ability to relieve fear from your mind. A man can just come into your world and go, don't worry about none of that. I got us. And if he's able to convince you of that, and if you're able to believe in him, children will just fall everywhere. Oh, we just had another child, baby. I'm so happy. Child number 2, child number 3, just babies just popping out of everywhere. So I'm just telling you, y'all haven't found that man yet. That's why most of y'all don't have children. Okay, Nicole, it might be a fantasy, but reasonably, it's not necessarily a fantasy because you can run into that man. You can run into that man. He doesn't have to be identical to how you created him in your mind. All he has to do is have the ability to give you that sense of safety physically and mentally. And if he has that, the physical stature that you require, whatever the type of man you need to look at to feel like he can protect you, and the monetary value that you feel he needs to have to sustain a certain life, and children will fall out of you. Children will fall out of you. Thunder Rats Unite. Why are you always trolling, Trucker Yell? Stop doing that, bro. Now, that's my position on it. I'm going to start doing more research and really thinking about how much we should pay women to have children, because I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the worst women have children. I think if we start paying smart women and more valuable women to have children, we might get better outcomes. So that's my take on it. That's what that article got me thinking about. Because I think women want to be honored for being a mother. Nicole, you said at least 200K. When you trying to have some kids, Nicole? Because 200K, man, we just had an argument the other day about $300,000 ain't no money. And I know that make a lot of people think that's crazy to say. But me, E-Man, I think, I forgot who else was up there. Listen, I'm not saying $300,000 can't buy you something. All I'm saying is if you think that's some money for reparations, black people going to still be in the same hole we in. That 300K ain't going to be enough. That's the only point that I was trying to make. I know you can buy some stuff for $300,000, okay? Show the requirement list in the article again, please. I got you. I'll pull up the requirements real quick. Hold on. I will pull it up. Let me pull it up one more time just for you. Okay, here we go. I'll pull this up briefly just for the people that missed it, okay? Now, the children must have been given appropriate levels of care for health, education, physical, spiritual, and moral development. The children must live. The children must live unless they lose life in military or civic duty. So you have to do that, and you need 10 children. I'm not sure what other thing you was talking about, MS Best, for what other qualifications. I guess I can stroll up a little bit. No, I think the top part was just the 10 children, the appropriate levels of care they must live. Yeah. I think that's good enough. I think that covers it. Yeah, I think that covers it. But yeah, that's just my take on that. I'm gonna start really looking into that more and finding out if. But I think I got my I think I got, who was it? I just gotta scroll up and see who said that. Oh, Nicole. Yeah, I think I got Nicole to rock out and say she'd do it for $1 billion. She said, shoot, 500K. Then she said, you know what, 200K. And okay, so that means for Nicole, she just ain't found a man that got $200,000. Sorry, Nicole, I'm joking. I don't know. You might got the man of your dreams. If he next to you, bro, I'm joking. I do not know. But basically what she said, if he got that money, children fall out of her. So shout out to you, Nicole. It is what it is, right? But that's what I read from that article. Now, let me get into what I really want to talk about today. This is because of the conversations we've been having, and I can't really see my chat right now. So let me try to adjust this because I haven't been able to really see what you guys have been saying. And that's how I get in trouble. But because of the conversations we've been having the last few days, hell, you could argue week, 2 weeks at this point, or where it's been stemming from, it got me thinking a little bit. And I've been listening to some of y'all favorite content creators out in this space, mainly the people that I actually listen to. So that means probably 2 people. And then little clips here and there. And then also understanding the conversation that we've been having in my spaces that I monitor, that I run. This is what came to my thoughts. This is why I brought you guys here, right? This is the real conversation that I really want to have right now. This is the one I really want to have. So I am going to open the conversation up for this particular conversation. But let me tell you what I want to talk about. I'm going to need a little bit of water to prepare for this. All right. Now, the sins of your forefathers. I want to talk about the sins of your forefathers, right? We've been having conversations lately, and because of what happened with Pearly Things, they called her a colonizer. We've been getting all this. You calling people, sellouts, coons. All these things are flowing into spaces, right? And Sometimes we have people of different backgrounds on panels having conversations. And lately, because of what's transpired, people been mad about having different people up in spaces that don't look like them and them having opinions and comments and all these things. And what ultimately happens is this: just because you got all that money, they still ain't going to, they still not going to accept you. You still going to just be one of them black people to them. When they pull you over in them cop cars, they still see the same thing, right? So what does that mean? What I often hear is this: in America, Jay Prince said a lot, so I'm using him because he's a recognized person in space. In America, we've been talking about, well, in America, they say these people are enemies, right? Now, we've been talking about reparations. We've been talking about like who deserves it, FBA, how to track it, and basically we've been saying we can track anything, right? We're saying if it's on your birth certificate, we can track down all these FBA people owns your mom, your dad. We can track that, right? Well, this is what I really want us to do, because we've been saying that, you know, these white people are enemies and they are the people that we need to fight against and all these things. I want to talk about the sins of your forefathers. Now, I want to ask you guys this. We don't have just one enemy. If we have enemies, it ain't just one. I want to talk about the enemies that reside in tribes across Africa. I want to talk about those particular countries that sold us to the Americas. I don't know what countries were they? Senegal. I don't know. You guys put the countries in the chat that you know took and participated in delivering us FBAs, American blacks, whatever you want to call them, that assisted with sending us to the US's of A's, right? Because what I've heard is this: all slavery is wrong. All slavery is wrong. People, when is slavery bad? And people are like, yeah, it is. If that's the case, if we were sold, I want to identify the people that sold us, and I think they should pay. And I'm talking about like real problems. So let's say, for instance, if you guys say there are areas in, let's say, Nigeria, right? I don't know. I'm just saying maybe some Nigerians decided to sell us. Perhaps we should identify, since we're telling white people, and it's just these my thoughts. Y'all get mad if you want, don't matter. But we're telling white people, your forefathers participated into the outcome and the experiences in which we are having. So you guys need to pay for this, although you did not enslave any of us, although you did not participate in it, none of that. But what we say is you benefited from it. So for all the tribes, where all these countries, wherever y'all want to name them, right? Ghana, Senegal, Congo, all that good stuff, right? Yeah. They are our enemies as well. So let's just say whoever coming in space, like my guy Daly, for example, because I think he said specifically that his people sold us. Well, because of that, Daly must pay for the sins of his forefathers. If I am going to stand on that principle with the white people in America, whatever, I have to look at him and say, you need to pay for the sins of your forefathers. So all of these people, now they're not going to like it, but it's the truth. We need to actually have that conversation too. Y'all need to pay us. We want to get paid in the US's of A, San Francisco particularly. I want that 5 M's, but realistically, all the Nigerians that participated, if you come from those tribes, y'all can track history. If we can track history here, y'all can track y'all history. Y'all owe us. So every single country that want to come to the Americas and do well, I think, and y'all not going to like this, We should ban them from coming to the United States of America. Every particular tribe and country that participated in that slave trade should be disallowed from coming to the Americas until they make us whole. Oh, y'all not going to like that. You should be disallowed from coming to America unless you make us whole. And I'm not just talking about give us some land. No, we want natural resources as well. So if y'all have a diamond plant, we need that. Instead of letting the Chinese come over there and tell y'all, hey, we'll give you a loan and we want your land. Y'all owe us. So when y'all come in these spaces and y'all want to have these conversations and y'all say, you my brother, we brothers, y'all enemies. At this point, reasonably, y'all enemies. Until y'all pay for the sins of your forefathers, y'all are enemies. Everybody that come in here, I don't care, unless you can prove. When the ones that come up here, that's from Nigerian descent, and all that stuff, y'all are now. I'm letting y'all know they have to be enemies too, because we can't just leave it on one end. Everybody that participated into our demise, that didn't think we was going to survive, didn't think we was going to come back to fight back. I think that we, at this point, is war. Because they come into our country, and you know what they doing? They thriving. They laughing at us. Oh, we doing better than you American blacks. Now, don't get me wrong. I acknowledge it. They are. They are. There are a good amount of them that are doing better than us for whatever reasons, right? We might can't identify it, but we ain't pushed a hard enough line. Some of us get too buddy. So there are some people in this space right now that's doing really, really well that shouldn't even be argumentatively in this country. But since we only want to focus on one enemy and pushing no hard lines, why are we not pushing no hard lines over there? Why are we not identifying and say, hey, yo, Daler, you an enemy. Yo, people owe us. What you gonna do about that? And since if y'all want to push a hard line in one area, let's push it in all areas. But I'm guessing that's too much. I'm guessing y'all don't want the smoke to be up with everybody else. Y'all just want a particular. The smoke need to be up with everybody. The smoke need to be up with everybody. So if it's chaotic truth, I don't know. If his people had anything to do with it, the smoke is up. The smoke need to be up from what I understand. Thank you, moons and stars, that I'm on voice rest. Yeah, rest your voice, bro. I know you was I know you was I know you've been struggling with what I went through, bro. So rest your voice, bro. Rest your voice. No, I'm just being honest. Do you understand that we need to have that same type of time with them? So when y'all see Nigerians come into our spaces, when y'all see all them other, what y'all say, Gambia, what other y'all say? I think y'all said the Congo. When y'all see people from these areas come in our spaces, I think if we don't want white people to speak on things, they need to be checked. We need to be consistent all the way around. We need to be consistent all the way around. Are y'all ready for that smoke, or do we just want to keep arguing with the same one enemy and not taking care of all the enemies? Because if this person's our enemy for what they did to us, these people definitely got to be our enemies for putting us in that situation. Because if I would have never been in that situation at all, I could argue our lives could be different. I could argue our lives could be different. So I'm guessing, yeah, shout out to AO. He said, everybody got to run that check. Yeah, I think it might be time for us to really, if we waking up and if we're empowering ourselves, I think we need to be real. Everybody got to get it. Everybody got to get it. You ain't going to like it. It's some people that we might be cool with it, but unless they pass the background check, unless we find out they tribe ain't had nothing to do with it, it's up. It should be up with them. If we willing to push it here for this little pitch, we need to be able to push it everywhere. We need to be able to push it everywhere. So when y'all see all these people that come in their spaces, make sure you let them know, hey, have you paid for the sins of your forefathers? Where that money at? Where them resources at? We need that. Because just like these people had all this land and we was red line and we ain't been able to carry no wealth with us, they took it from us too. Yeah, they took it from us too. I'm gonna need all that. I'm gonna need all that money. I'm gonna need all that land. I want the diamond mine. Listen, something must be going on in Africa where they got all them damn resources at and no power. We need that. We need those damn diamonds. We need those coal mines. Whatever natural resources that they got, we need that. Y'all need to make us whole too. And I don't want to hear no, oh, you are brothers. We love you. We will give you this land. Land ain't enough. Because if these people offering us land and all this BS stuff, if that ain't enough and they owe us trillions, it started with you. And if it started with you, you need to pay the most because we got to go to victim number one. Y'all did this to us. All these other people did was play the game with y'all and they benefited the most. However, y'all need to pay what y'all owe. We need that. We need that because I'm gonna be honest with you. If we could get some of them resources back in Africa, yo, that could change the game. They got a lot of resources, man. It's a reason why everybody want their fingers in Africa. It's a reason why they do. And we the only ones not benefiting. We the only ones that's not benefiting from that situation. We ain't pushing no hard lines. We ain't telling nobody, hey. No. We gonna need this money. Now, I'm about what's right. Right is right, fair is fair. We're gonna push a hard line over here. We're gonna push a hard line over there too. Because a lot of people came here and they've been eating. They've been eating really well off of the work that blacks have done in America. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta pay us reparations. It would be nice to get them. But if we are gonna go for reparations, if we are gonna push these lines, we're gonna push them everywhere. We need money from everywhere. So every country that y'all named in the chat that said they had something to do with it, we need to holler at y'all. We need to have a conversation. What you gonna do about this? And reasonably so, I think a lot would be changed if they couldn't come to America no more. I think a lot would be changed if they found out that they couldn't escape to America and change their life. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of them will be like, we apologize. We were wrong. And we want to give you this and that. And we need to run through that list because they owe us a lot. And if anybody living good in those countries, especially Nigeria, they got a lot of people there. They doing some good things. They got a lot of bankers out there. We need some of that money. Yeah, we need some of that power. Yeah, we need some of those resources. Yeah, y'all getting it? We need that. And if y'all want to come to America, well, you're going to have to make whole. I think it's reasonably fair. I think it's within our right to demand these things because we've been allowing these people into our country for years and we ain't say nothing. Because like y'all always say, man, black people they nice to everybody. They let anybody in our culture. They let everybody infiltrate us. That's cool. It's going to get to a point where black people say that's enough though. I don't even care about the reparations. I care about the stance. I care about the position. I care about the acknowledgement that it's more than just America that did this to us. It's everybody. And you know how when y'all rappers get on and y'all ball players get y'all money, everybody got to get it that did y'all wrong. You ain't forgot none of that. Let's not forget. Let's not forget nobody that did us wrong. Let's not limit it to one area. A lot of people did us wrong. A lot of people stole our culture. A lot of people stole our native tongue, and they should pay for that. They should pay severely. And some people don't even want the money. They want you to pay with blood. They want you to pay with blood. And they be coming over here scamming us. They got to pay for that too. Facts. They definitely be scamming. They definitely been scamming. That's a fact. Yeah. But only if we let them here. Only if we let them in this country do they even be able to exert this type of power. This is it. See, I have no problem pushing lines. I have no power. I have no problem meeting people where they need to be met at. It's never been a problem. But we need to be consistent. And we need to be fair. Because right is right, wrong is wrong. We can't just all right, y'all can get away with it, but then these people can't. It won't work that way. So all lines must be pushed from every order. Uh, am I implying that we invade? No, I'm not making no implication of that, but I don't think we running from it. MS Best ain't nobody complaining about no scamming. He was joking, but safe to say it probably does happen. And if he want his punch back for that, he can get it. Obviously, that was a joke. We're not focused on that, but everything else that I said was not a joke. It's not a lie. It's facts. It can be proven. It's in the history. Like we know what happened. We know what groups participated, and a lot of these people know they come from those tribes. There's a lot of people getting money in America that come from those tribes. I don't know. Don't you think we should have a tax on that money? If you're making money in America, we should tax you on that. Now, here's the thing. The ones that are doing well, the ones that are making a lot of money are not going to like that. They're not going to like the fact that we're going to start taxing them. So yeah, you can become an engineer in America. You can become a computer science major. We don't care. We're going to tax you for it though. We need all that. We need all that money. We need all those resources. And we need you to understand that you actually an enemy. So don't try to trick us, because apparently we get easily tricked, letting other cultures come in and take advantage of us, culture vultures, call it what y'all want. But apparently we've been letting them get a pass because they look like us. I guess that's the argument. They look like us, so therefore we should let it slide. Picking and choosing. No, it needs to be up with all in. Now the question is, do y'all think that's something we ready for? Now, some of y'all might think, no, man, I think I got family over there, or I did one of those 23andMes, or one of those DNA tests, or what do they call those? I forget the name of, right? And y'all found out that you 86% West African or something, or you found that you're from Ghana or whatever the case is. So you're like, no, my family from there. You feeling all good and stuff. You feeling like you got family there. You don't know their name. You don't know the tribe. All they did was put a place in an area in Africa and said that's where you from. I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe in none of that. AL said we put a 70-30 split on them diamond mines. Yeah, why not? I think we owed that. And to be fair, a 70-30 split for all these years that we've been sold, packaged up. Think about it right now. Let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. If you had a child right now, and look, listen, I don't want to use AL because that's my guy, but let's just say you had a child right now and somebody took your child from you, and then 60 years later, because let's just say you had your child at 20, whatever, 60 years later, you 80, and they bring your child back to you. And they say, we're so sorry we stole your child. Here you go, yada, yada. We released him and all this stuff. You think you're going to be like, it's okay, I let it slide? Or you think you're going to have a problem with that? You think that you're going to want to cause some potential problems for that experience, right? They did that to us. They put us in that predicament. They put us in those situations. Whatever things we had going on, whatever land we could have gotten, whatever, we never got to experience that. Whatever language, when we going back and forth talking about, yeah, you know, my last name is Johnson. You know where we got that from. So when we going back and forth, when we seeing other cultures and other people speaking in their native tongue and they around us and we don't know what they talking about and they could be plotting on us right in front of us, we don't have that ability. That, to me, that is one of the primary reasons that really holds us back, is that we don't have the ability to have conversations in front of other groups and they don't know what the hell we talking about. That actually would be a game changer. Y'all know when y'all was on the back of the buses growing up and y'all see a group, I don't know, Asians, Hispanics, and they start talking in another language, and you deep down, like, you feel like they talking about you, but you can't prove it. We never got to do that to them. We never got to experience that. We've never got to have a play like that in their face, and we never got to experience it. That's one of the things that's actually really held us back. That's one of the things that's actually really held us back is that we never had our own language. Now, here's some people will say nothing's stopping you from learning the language. That's true, but which language? I agree. We can learn Swahili. I'm sure there are a lot of languages we can learn, but how do we know that's our language? How do we know that's our native tongue? Because it was stripped from us, it was taken from us. So everybody should have to pay, wouldn't you say? Everybody should have to pay. That's my guess. But I'm guessing you guys gonna let it slide. I'm guessing you guys gonna let it go. But I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not lying. Y'all know that they owe us. You know that they did us wrong. And you know we should push a hard line on them. But the question is, are we willing to do that? Are we willing to do that? Or are we just going to focus on the people here and say those are enemies and let it slide? That's the truth. Are we really ready to turn up and really, really focus on everybody that did us wrong and to come for everything that's ours? That's the real question. That is a real question. Queen Lady E says we're headed down a long way taking it to Africa. That's all right. We'll do it. Ain't listen, we only coming for those that done us wrong. There are a lot of places that had nothing to do with it. There are a lot of people that did not participate. It's similar to like what they say, the Underground Railroad. There were a lot of allies. There were a lot of people that were like, you come through here, we will protect you. Now, here's the thing. They still went through those places, found us. They still, basically, for a lack of better words, but tied us up and sold us. They still did it. Even when we try to run, even when we try to hide, they still did it. So even if we had allies that was rocking with us, like, yeah, no, we'll try to hide you, we'll try to blend you. They still came, tracked them down, and sold them. So it is what it is. We know the truth. We know our enemies are far and wide, but it's not all of it. But here's the thing. We can actually track the tribes that participated. We can actually track the people that participated in this experience. I don't know why y'all want to just track it for reparations. It's not just about the money. We want the money, but it ain't just about the money. Now, it's about acknowledging that we think we only have one enemy, but there's more than one enemy. Now, I'll tell you, like I tell everybody, I don't give a damn about reparations. We never get them, whatever. I don't care. I'll take them. I'm not going to live my life begging for them. I'm not going to live my life hoping I'm getting them. But I am willing to push a hard line against everybody that's not going to give it to us if that's what y'all really want to do. But my guess is that's not the goal that y'all really want. My guess is y'all just want to play it smooth and say, hey, this and hey. No, we can't play those games. We got to listen. We got to push a hard line. So all y'all friends that's from the tribes that y'all know participated, it's going to make them very uncomfortable when you tell them they ain't the only ones that got to pay for their forefathers. So do you. It's going to be a real problem. But my guess is only a few of us are willing to take it all the way. The rest of us will say, man, we can let it go, and that's cool. I'm fine. We can let it go, or we don't have to. I'm fine either way. But I'm just acknowledging that we have more than one enemy. We have more than one group of people that have enjoyed the fruits of our experience. They life have went up since then, right? And so because of that, because of these people that did it, y'all put it in the chat. I didn't even have to say the names. Y'all already knew who did it. And I'm gonna be honest with it. Shout out to Keisha. I'm not a very forgiving person, and I do agree that is a downside in me that I don't like. Because one, it takes a lot to get me to a certain space. So if you ever get me there, I don't know if I could ever let something go. I'm not gonna fixate on it. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do and ignore you. But I don't have to let nothing slide. I don't. It depends on the violation. Y'all know me. I'm big on violation. I'm big on it. There are certain things you can't do. And let's be honest, we have never really tried to have this real conversation, right? We've always talked about, yeah, it's always been an uncomfortable relationship between us and Africans. It's always been uncomfortable. Something ain't right. They don't like us. They say we don't like them, but we really believe they don't like us. That's probably why they sold us. They probably think we dumb. They probably think they're better than us. And they do find ways to separate themselves from us, whether you like it or not. They do find those ways. When that moment comes, they say things like, "Well, I am Nigerian," or "Well, I'm from the Congo," or they find a way at the last minute to say they from somewhere else. So I'm just acknowledging that. Now, that don't mean you ain't got to be friends with people that you've made friends with over the year. That's your choice. But you do need to acknowledge that their people owe us. They owe us. Now, I don't know what you guys want to do with the truth. I don't know what you want to do with the truth, but that is the truth. We need to come for everybody, because if we can truly do that, that is the true change that we can have. Could you imagine if we get what we owed? If you forget owed, if we take what we should take. Now, I don't know if y'all, if we take what we should take, we winning. If we do it though. But I don't know if y'all willing and ready for with everybody that has something to do with it. Not just these people, everybody. I mean everybody. That means anybody that think they look like you. Listen, you know how like in certain areas of town, you listen, you got to say, "Hey, where you from?" That's the same thing. We checking where you from. If somebody say something crazy like, "I'm from this tribe here," we need to do a background check on that. Which tribe it is? Look it up. Which one? Uh-huh. Oh, you from that tribe? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You owe us. You owe us. And no, no, no. It's not about being a monolith, Kobe. What it's about is there are going to be people that have differences of opinion. There are going to be people that have differences of viewpoints, and that's cool. If you have the group that you lead them on the path that you want them to. All I'm saying is fair, right is right. There are more people that have sins for their forefathers than just white people. They're not the only ones. You can still come for that too, though. But why we need to acknowledge these people that's hiding across the water. We need that. And I'm just gonna be the one to say it. Now, look, you might not like that I said it. You might think I'm wrong. You might say, no, we need to team up with them. That's really our family. Those people really love us. I don't know. I don't know. But I know there are tribes that have a lot to do with our situation. And I know they ain't paid for it. Now, I've read some places where they say, if you come here, we'll give you citizenship and we'll give you some land. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I don't care about that. If you offer us something, we really don't want that. We don't want what you're offering us. We want what we want. And that's the thing. If we no longer going to be docile in the sense of just agreeable, then we have to take. We have to absolutely take. And they got a whole lot that they can give for us. But the question is, are we going to tap in to that space? Look, y'all all got it. Y'all know that space that takes y'all to a place in y'all mind where y'all know it's gonna be a lot that's gonna come from that. Because I have to be careful what I'm saying, right? But y'all know that space that you can go there. If we take it there, I don't personally believe there's anyone that could stop us. But I think getting to that space is hard for us because we are a very forgiving people. I don't actually have those forgiving tendencies. I don't have those forgiving tendencies. And sometimes I don't know if that's to my detriment or to my benefit. But I'm going to start the conversation. I'm going to tell y'all, hey, It's smoke up with everybody. And when we put those, listen, when we tell them it's smoke up with you, they gonna look at us like, what do you mean? I didn't do it. I didn't have nothing to do with it, but your forefathers did. And they can't deny that. And they coming to America. Let's be honest. Y'all didn't see them, but y'all didn't see them. They getting all kind of money in America. And they ain't paid us a penny. Now, I'm not saying y'all can use mob rules where the mob said, look, if you want to make money in this town, if you want to sell from this store, every time on the first, I need an envelope. Every time on the first, I need an envelope. Now, we can be reasonable or you can't come around here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to being in America, if we want to push a hard line, we can. I'm just being honest with you. There are some, listen, look, strategically, there is a line we can push. We do run certain things, right? We might not have the population to deal with this particular thing at the very moment, but we can with this particular thing. We do run this thing, and if you don't pay, then you can't come around here. You can't be in our areas. You can't be in our spaces. You can't be in our projects. You can't be in none of that because you ain't paid for the sins of your forefathers. That's what I've been thinking about. That's what these conversations has pushed my mind to fixate and focus on. I go, damn, it's a whole lot of resources that we can utilize. Now, I want you guys to think about it. I want you guys to really, really think about it and have an honest opinion. Are we willing to take it there? Is that a good play? Is that the right play? I don't know. But I'm willing to come to people to have the conversation. So my job is to push the conversation, start the conversation. And that's always the goal. But I really, really do believe that that area, like, okay, so like when it comes to chess, when it comes to war, right? You pick a particular region, you pick a particular area, and you attack them first because you realize strategically that makes the most sense. So I think strategically we have to reevaluate our plays. And what I'm saying is there are a lot of plays, a lot of other areas that we haven't decided to attack yet. And I think it's time that we put our minds to work and highlight those areas of opportunity. Because for a long time, some of our greatest minds, some of our most powerful thinking individuals, powerful people, leaders, etc., have let this slide. I'm gonna have to tell you, we ain't gotta let it slide no more. Shout out to Brock. He says, "Hey Aaron, when you finally admit to having that gold Rolls Royce, I saw you last week trying to be stealthy, but it didn't work." Hey, we trying to get these resources. We trying to re-strategize on how we moving. Now, if I did have a gold Rolls Royce, I wouldn't tell nobody. Honestly, I like to walk. It's good for my health. But I'm saying that to say this, guys. We definitely need to re-strategize. There are areas of opportunities that we haven't highlighted, that we haven't fixated on, that I think are available for victory. And I think a small victory leads to a bigger victory. It's called momentum. And when you win here and you win here, it becomes contagious. So with that, I will leave you guys until the next conversation. into the next move. I'll holler at you guys later.